Hey guys, Paul here. Today I want to show you how you can build an impressive onboarding system that you can sell to agencies today for around $3,000. Now we are going to go over how you can structure an onboarding system, and then we are going to be building it step by step. I want you to work alongside me because it is going to be easier for you to learn how to do this and actually how to implement all of these automations within your agency or within your freelancer work. So let's get started. So first of all, what is onboarding and why does it actually matter? As by definition, onboarding is the process of welcoming and setting up a new client in your business. So basically, onboarding is the process that every agency goes through, or every company that has not only high ticket, but usually a medium to high ticket client. You are basically going to share some, documents that you need to share with him. You are going to walk him through your whole processes. You are going to connect him to whatever apps or spaces you have that you usually share with your clients. So basically you are going to accommodate him into your ecosystem. Why does onboarding matter? Well, it matters because it sets the tone for the whole relationship, right? The onboarding is basically the first action and interaction that you are going to be having with your client, besides, of course, the introductory meetings that you are going to have. It reduces unnecessary back and forth, first of all, so you are not going to have to meet with him for whatever little inconvenience or whatever little problem, right? So here we are going to save some time, and it makes your agency look professional and efficient, of course. So if you put yourself in the client's perspective, it is way more professional if you have an onboarding system where you see that within a matter of, a few hours or maybe a few minutes, if you automate everything, you can be fully set up within working with another agency or working with somebody. So you're going to, of course, be impressed and have a really good impression about your agency that you are working with. Now, there are three main types of onboarding. First of all, we have manual onboarding, which is the most common and is, of course, pretty slow and inconsistent. Here we are going to send back and forth emails. We are going to be having clients get lost in the whole process, and it wastes a lot of agency time. So, of course, you don't want to really do everything by hand. I know that there are a lot of agencies and agency owners that are not really trusting apps to do the work for them, but it's a big mistake. We're in 2025. Please, let's try to use a bit of automation, at least if not fully automated, at least semi-automated, so that we don't have to put this burden on our client, because there are going to be a lot of email back and forth. There are going to be a lot of meetings back and forth, and it's not going to be pleasant for either you or your client. Then we have semi-automated onboarding. Now, here there is some automation, but it still needs some human effort. Like, we are having pre-filled forms and email templates that we are going to manually fill, and then we are going to send, and we are going to have some manual follow-ups that are still required. This is a better option, of course, than manual onboarding, but we can get one step better and one step forward here from here, right? We have fully automated onboarding, which is what we are going to be building today, where everything runs on autopilot, clients move smoothly through the process without agency intervention, and of course, it's a lot quicker and convenient. You are going to look a lot more professional as an agency or as a company in the eyes of your client. Now, what's needed for a great onboarding system? First of all, we're going to need some data collection. So usually we're going to be doing this by utilizing some kind of forms like Google Forms or Typeform. Google Forms is the easy way to go. It's the free way to go. It's the way that people are usually used to. Typeform is a bit of a more elevated app for forms. Let's say it's more customizable, it's more aesthetic, and you can have some automation within that app, which I really like. Now, documentation and contracts are usually found out in these onboarding systems. We automatically send agreements. Let's say we have a PandaDoc, maybe proposal, or we have some invoices that are going to be automatically sent. Here, of course, you can customize your onboarding by how you are actually going to do it in your agency, in your company, and how it is basically by default in your niche, right? And then we are going to be having payment processing. Just like I said, you can do this by doing some invoicing with PandaDoc, or you can make sure clients pay before starting with Stripe or PayPal. We have project kickoff. We are going to auto create ClickUp/Notion tasks for the team. I personally use ClickUp. For a bigger team, you can use Notion too. I do not recommend Notion with teams over, let's say, 10 people, because it is a bit harder to manage. ClickUp is a way better tool, and it's way more customizable, and you can automate the hell out of it. And then we have client communication, where we're going to send automated welcome emails and Slack messages with our client. So we are going to actually onboard him to our communication channel so that it is going to be easier for us and for him to keep in contact. We don't have to send a lot of emails or even meet on Zoom meetings every time. Okay, and here we have the first look at the completed automation that we are going to be building today, which is the client onboarding process. It looks a little bit like this. We are going to be building it inside make.com. Now, everything is going to be triggered by this specific webhook, and this webhook is going to be activated when our client is going to complete a form. So basically, just like as I said in my presentation earlier, we are going to be needing to gather some data from our client, and we are going to be doing this by using a simple Google form, which is going to look a little bit like this. I used Google Forms because it's the most common out there, and you can use it for free too if you want to build this. And we are going to ask a few questions so that we can gather some relevant data and very basic data. Of course, you can put how many questions you want and gather whatever data you want, right? We are going to be collecting the first name, the last name, the company name, the email, the service. We are going to be hypothetically a marketing agency. So we are going to basically offer long form content or short form content. And then we are going to be collecting the address, right? Okay, so basically when that client is going to complete this form, this automation is going to be triggered. We have a router here, and all of these actions are going to be fired one by one. First of all, we are going to create a task into our Insider CRM, which is going to be a ClickUp CRM. It looks a little bit like this. It is a very simple CRM. It's just basically a list for now, where we are going to store all of that information. So you can see the name of the company, his name. We are going to be storing his email, the service. We are going to have here a status which is going to be sent or pending based on if we sent the welcoming email or welcoming letter, and then we are going to store his address here. Okay, once we have done that, we are going to send him that custom email, which is going to be just a template that is going to be auto-filled with the information that we gathered from the first form here in our Google Forms. And then we are going to, as you can see, update the status of this specific field, the welcoming letter, from pending to sent, so that me as the agency owner knows that there hasn't been any problem with our automation and we have sent that specific welcoming email. Okay, then we are going to be creating some folders to share with our clients. We are going to be creating a main folder and then some subfolders. It depends whatever you want to share with your clients. Here we're going to create a main folder where we create two subfolders, which are going to be, let me actually look a bit. The first folder, if I'm mistaken, is going to be, the calls list. Here we're going to save the transcription of all the calls that we have with our client on Zoom or Google Meets or whatever you are going to be using. And then we are going to be having another folder, which is going to be the documents folder, where he is going to drop us some documents that we are going to need in order to create our work, to create our short form or long form content, right? And we are going to be delivering him the content through this folder too. Of course, again, you can create as many documents as you want, and for whatever reason you actually want to create them, right? We are going to be getting a sharing link, and then we are going to be sharing that link via an email. And then the last step, the communication channel step. We are going to create a Slack channel, and we are going to invite him to our specific Slack channel. So you can see that in a span of this automation runs in about 5 to 7 seconds, let's say. In a span of 7 seconds, we have basically gathered all of the information from our client into our CRM. So we have stored all of that information. We have sent him a welcoming letter, welcoming email, where we can, by default send him a presentation, some data about us as the agency. We can send him whatever documents, right? We have created folders to share with him, and we have invited him to our Slack channel. So basically, this would have been a few hours work and a few emails back and forth and maybe some meetings before, done in a few seconds. So now let's begin and see how we can build this step by step into a make.com account. Okay, so now we're going to run this whole automation once and see exactly how it actually performs, right? So we're going to click run once. We are going to wait for new data. here we are going to go to our form that I have previously completed, and we are going to click submit. So we have first name, last name, company name, email, service, and the address. We're going to click submit, and now this whole automation has to trigger. You can see that it has already triggered. We have created a ClickUp task. The first email has been done. The folders have been created, the introductory email, and now we are creating the Slack channels and we are inviting him. And you can see that it took around 5 seconds for this whole submission to run. Now, let's see what email did we receive. So first of all, we have the welcome on board and my name, welcome to Tinker. And you can see that it's actually way nicer this way than just a plain email, right? Being like a box using HTML to actually write it. Here we have a link to my calendar, so that he can just, I don't know, book another meeting for our next encounter. Okay, and then we have shared the folder with him. Here we have a main folder. In the main folder we have two subfolders, one with the documents that we are going to share to each other and one with the calls, the transcriptions that we are going to save from all of our Zoom calls or Google Meet forms, Google Meet transcripts. And then we are going to have the introductory document, which is going to be this one, where we have the main folder, the Slack channel, which is called like this, the NDA. We are going to give him another calendar link here, and important, if he doesn't see the link, to check his spam folder. Now, if you go to our CRM, you can see that now we have a new task created here with his company's name, his email, service, and every other information needed. If you go to Slack, you can see that here we have a new channel that has been created. And yeah, here we have the folder. So basically, all of these actions have been created in around 5 seconds just by completing a form. Let's see how to build this from scratch. Okay, so here we have a blank new canvas in our Make.com account. This is a new scenario. First of all, just as I said, we are going to be needing a webhook to connect to our Google Forms. Now, you can find it by searching here webhook, and you are going to be clicking custom webhook. You are going to click add, and you are going to name it whatever you want. I'm going to call it Google Forms Onboarding webhook. Good. And you're going to click save. Okay, now you're going to be given this URL link. Once you have created your Google form here, in order to actually connect Google Forms to your Make.com scenario, you're going to be doing this little trick. You see here we have 3 dots, we have more. We are going to go to apps script here, and then we are going to be inputting a custom code over here. I have already made a short tutorial YouTube channel over here, which is about 4 minutes, where I show you how to connect your Google Forms with your webhooks in Make.com. You're going to basically paste this specific code, and you're going to post here the URL that you are going to be provided by Make.com when you are going to create this webhook. So we have this URL, you're going to copy it to your clipboard. We're going here, and you're going to replace this little hook. Okay, and then we're going to come here at the trigger section in the left-hand corner. And here you can see that I have already created one for the previous automation that I showed you, but we are going to create another one. So here, add trigger, and here select event type on form submit. So whenever a form is being submitted, that webhook is being triggered and the information is being sent over to Make.com. And we are going to click save. Okay. Now that we have created all of this, let's do a little check and go to editor again. We are going to, first of all, save project drive, and then we are going to run this. Let me go to this scenario and click run once. And we are going to have to receive the webhook. Let me run it again. Yeah, we have gotten the last information that we have inputted into our Google Forms. Just as a matter of being assured, you should complete this form once at least before you're going to connect it to your webhook in Make.com, so they can see that you get that information that you have inputted last time into your webhook, right? Okay, so this was the first step. We have the trigger for our whole automation. Then we are going to be needing a router. so that we can create all of these branches separately. We are going to be needed around 4 of them. So the first action that we want this automation to make is going to be the creating a task in ClickUp. So you can find it here. If you search for ClickUp, create a task. And then you're going to connect your ClickUp account to yourmain.com. I have already connected it. You can do this by clicking add and just using the O2 authentication. We are going to find the workspace. We are going to then find the space and then the list. The space, if I'm not mistaken, is this one, CRM. And we are going to be finding, no, hold on, I have to look a bit because I have too many. Yeah, it's training automation. Okay. Training automations. Here we have the folder, which is going to be the lead management CRM, and then the list is going to be onboarding. Here we already have 8 tasks from beforehand. Okay, and now you have created a new task basically. So here you have your custom fields from your ClickUp CRM. If you don't know how to complete and actually build a list into ClickUp, it is pretty easy. You are just going to create a new space, a new folder, a new list, and here you are having this plus sign where you can add columns, and here you have all of the types of columns that you can add, like text, drop down date, numbers, labels, a lot of them. And then you're going to be clicking, let's say we have a text one, you're going to name it, create, and it's going to appear here. Okay, it's pretty easy. Once you've done that, we are going to connect all of these basically custom fields to the information that we have received from our Google form. So we have the email custom field, which is going to be this one. We have the welcoming letter, which is going to be by default be pending, but you can just set it to default here. You don't have to select anything. At the name, we are going to be putting his last name and his first name. Actually, his first name, last name. Then the email is going to be email. The service, here you are going to be having to do a trick. It's going to be a little formula, right? Okay, for this space, you're going to be doing this. You're going to be using the switch formula, which looks like this. So basically, we are going to switch. Here we have the service that has been provided. So basically, the service looks like this. Hold on. Service is this short form content. So our client has selected short form content from those 2 options, right? So we basically are going to switch the service, so short form content here, with his code. Basically what this code is this. If we go to service and we don't hit map, we have these 2 that you can just check, right? And if you just map them, you're going to be given these 2 codes. The first code is for the short form content and the second code is going to be for the long form content. So what we want to do is just switch the lettering from, instead of writing short form content, to this specific code. So that's why we are going to be using this formula. Let's save these 2 codes here real quick and then go back. We are going to be using the switch formula. So we go here, we have this one, and we are going to switch where is it? Switch. Okay. And here you are going to be putting, first of all, the service, which is going to be this one, short form content, and you are going to write basically short form content, just like here, right? Short form content. Then you're going to add the code of that specific short form content. So here we are going to add the first code up until this column, right? Okay, copy it, paste it. Okay, we are going to then put long form content. Make sure that you are going to write this one and you don't have any typos, so you write it good basically. And then you're going to copy the long form content code and you're going to paste it here. And basically here you are going to be selecting the service that your client has selected, right? And then we have the address. Okay, save it, and basically task name is going to be the company name. At least this is how I put it in my CRM. And then you're going to save it, and here we have created our task into ClickUp. Okay, Once we have created this task, the next step was to actually send a welcoming email to our client. So here we are going to click on plus. Here we have email, and we are going to create a draft. Now you can create a draft, or you can automatically send that specific email. If you want to just test it out, choose create a draft and then revise it. Now let me just actually create an email, not just a draft. So we are going to be at sending a new email. Okay. At 2, we have here his email that we have received from the webhook. As a subject, we are going to be, I don't know, welcoming letter, welcoming, let's say welcome on board, and we are going to put his name, welcome on board, so that we can customize it a bit. Maybe you can put an emoji too here, like celebration one, right? And I want to use actually an HTML content type. Why is that? Because it's a bit more aesthetic and a bit more professional than just writing plain text. No, sorry, I'm not really good at HTML, to be honest. I'm not good at coding, so I'm just going to call ChatGPT for this one. And I'm going to just use him to actually create a welcoming email. Here I have this little plugin which helps me talk with him. So I want to create a welcoming letter in HTML that I want to send to my clients. I am a marketing agency that creates long form and short form content, and I am creating an onboarding sequence, and I need an HTML format email to welcome my client on board. I want the HTML to be professional. I want the HTML to be and the email to be pretty simple, pretty plain, and I want it to have a warm language and actually pretty Gen Z. I want it to be modern in language. Pretty simple. Maybe it's not the best prompt, but we'll go with it. So hold on, let me just delete this, which help me think. Okay, boom, and we are going to send go. He is going to then write us an HTML. Okay, while he's writing this HTML, I want to check out the HTML. So we're going to go to HTML, see what you get. HTML viewer, which is going to be, let me see, it's going to be, I think this one, the HTML converter. Here we are going to see the response from our ChatGPT bot, copy it and paste it over here. This is how the email is going to look like. Welcome to your agency name, hey client. So you can see we can further personalize this email. It looks way better. It looks like a little cassette. It has shadows, right? It has a button, get started. Maybe we can link something to that specific button, or we can just erase it. So that's why I'm asking ChatGPT to create me an HTML email, because it looks more professional than just a plain email, right? So we are going to copy this code. We are going to go here, and in the content, we are going to paste it. Now, it is usually advised that you would edit your email here, first of all, so you can see it, how it actually looks, and then edit it into your mail.com account. So let me edit it basically real quick. Okay, so basically I just put my agency name here. I put a link to this button to just basically redirect him to a calendar link where he can just schedule a call with me. And here I put my email so that he can know what our email is in case he needs anything. Okay, we are going to copy it, paste it again here, and we are going to be needing to put here his name, right? And basically that's about it. You can personalize it however you want. I'm just going to go basic with it so yeah, you can follow along. So here we are going to be having this here, hey, client's name. Okay, here we're putting his full name. Oh, okay. And this is going to be it. We have our email, okay? And then after that, we are going to have to change our button status from pending, right, by default to sent, because we have sent that email. So why we are going to be doing that? Because again, I want to check up if the automation has worked. If it is still to pending after we have onboarded our clients. I know that something didn't work well, so it's just like a backup measure. So we are going to list all the tasks, and here we are going to be selecting it. We are not going to be using the ID. By the way, the ID is going to be found in the URL. We have the workspace. You can basically select it just like we have made it when we created a task. We have the CRM, and we have the folder, which is going to be, again, I used the wrong space. We have the, hold on, yeah, here, lead management CRM, and we have the onboarding list. And well, we are going to list all the tasks here. We are going to be doing this because we want to get the ID from our space. And then we are going to have another target, common view, tag, checklist. We are going to be using this one. Hold on, let me actually edit a target. We are going to edit a task, folder, list, task. Edit a task with custom fields here. Okay, now we are going to select this task from our CRM, and we are going to be needing the ID from that specific task created beforehand in this automation. So we go here, lead management CRM, and go to the list, onboarding again, and we have here the task ID, right? We are going to map this. Let's just run this once so that we have all the information. Here in the output, you can see that we have the task ID for our, for the last one. This is going to be the task ID. So we go over here, again, input it because it has been refreshed. We just ran the last module. So again, training automation, folder, we go to lead management CRM and to onboarding. And we are going to select here, we're going to map our task ID, which is this one. Good. And we are going to change here the status. Yeah, welcome letter from pending to send. So we are going to update it to send and then save, and that's it. So we have created the second branch too. Now we have stored all of the information from our client. We have sent him an email, and we have updated the status of our email to send from pending. Then what we want to do is just creating some more folders in our Google Drive and share them with him, with our client. So again, we go here, we go to Google Drive. Okay, we are going to create a folder, and here we are going to select a new folder location. I'm going to put it into, again, training automations, and the folder name is going to be main folder X, and I'm going to put his company's name so that I know what folder this one is. And at share folder, I want to say yes. We have the role type is going to be actually let's think about it. It's the main folder, so he's going to need access to it. He is going to actually upload some documents. We need him to make an owner and type only a user. Okay, so the user's email is going to be the email provided. Okay, and then we are going to be clicking save. We have to create some more folders. So we go here, we go to create another folder. So just like you see here, basically we have the main folder, this one, which is again the name of his company, of my company and his company. And then we are going to create two subfolders here. And these two subfolders basically have this location, which is going to be the ID for the first location, and the folder ID, right? And we are going to call it calls or whatever you want to call it. So the first one, the main one, just like I did beforehand, is going to be like this. Yeah, you can have two options here. You can share the folder with your client automatically. So basically Google Drive is going to send him a link to your basically folder, or you can opt here so that Google Drive doesn't share the folder with him, but you are going to create a sharing link for that specific folder and send it to him in an email, which is a bit more, I don't know, engaging, I must say, and professional. So yeah, we're going to be doing the same here. So this is the first option that I did, where you can just automatically share it with him via Google Drive and via them sending him the email, where we're going to choose no because we want to create a custom link to send it to him afterwards. Okay, click save, go here, create a new folder, and here we are going to choose the folder location. We are going to map our folder location. So we are not going to map it yet. We are going to be going to the same folder, training automations, right? And then we are going to map it. We are going to put /, and here we are going to put the first folder ID that we have created. So basically we are going to be putting this folder into the folder that we have created beforehand. So it is basically a subfolder. And this is how we set the folder location for our subfolder, right? The new folder's name, we are going to be calling it calls. We are going to store the calls over here. We're going to click save. And then you can just duplicate this, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, and put it here again. And we have the same destination, basically the same space, but we are going to call it, it's going to be another subfolder. We are going to call it, I don't know, documents, where we can share documents with our client. Okay, so we have created our Google Drive folders. Now we need to share them with him. So we are going to click get a share link for our main folder on Google Drive. Here we have get a share link, and we are going to share the main folder's link, which is going to be the file ID, is going to be select, actually folder ID is going to be, this is the 10th, make sure this is the 10th module, so we need the 8th module, the main folder. We have here the folder ID, okay, and the role is going to be actually a writer. He can write, he can just customize it too. He's not an owner, we are going to be the owner, and the type is going to be user. Email address is not relevant yet because we just want to get a share link and then share it with him via email. So we don't want, again, Google Drive to send him another email, or if you want, you can do that. So let's for now just put yes to send notifications so that we can have a double check. We are going to be sending him the email, and Google Drive is going to be sending him the same email but through their emails as a backup, right? So we're going to input his email here that we have gotten from our Google Forms, okay? And we can even put a message here, and we're going to say link to the main folder in the collaboration with this is going to be my agency, let's say, okay? And we're going to be clicking save. After we have shared this specific link, we are going to send that email that I have talked to you about, where again is going to be another HTML email. And here we are going to put a sharing link for our mail folder, right? We are going to put a Slack channel, the name of our Slack channel that we have created, which is going to be here, right? And then some other information that you want. Let me just show you how this HTML looks. I don't want to create another one, just for the sake of creating one. So it looks a little bit like this. Welcome on board. Here we have his first name. Here we have the main folder with, here we have the link to that specific folder. We have the Slack channel where we are going to name the Slack channel, I don't know, maybe his name and our company's name, a dash AIGC or whatever, right? So it's something that you know that is going to be a Slack channel for your client. It's basically distinguished by you, is going to be your system on how you name all of these channels, right? Then we have an NDA. You can even send an NDA document with PandaDoc. We are not going to be doing this in this video, but you can do this, right? And we are going to be giving him a link to book another meeting with us, basically a Calendly link. And then important, if you don't see the links, please check your spam folder. There is a chance there might go to the spam folder, but we are going to be warning him about this. So basically the links to the Slack channel and whatever else we sent him. Okay, we have this HTML. I am just going to paste it here. You can create this HTML just like we created the first one right here, the send an email HTML with ChatGPT. Just talk to him, he's going to create one and then just play with it. It's pretty easy, you saw that. Again, we are going to be sending an email, and here HTML, we are going to paste this. We just have to replace all of these custom fields, right? So we have, first of all, the name. Let's go to our first webhook right here. Welcome on board. Here's his name. Here we are going to have the share link, which we are going to find on our 11th here. We have the share link. Perfect. We have the Slack channel, which we are going to name, I don't know, let's name it just his first name and his last name and dash Tinker, which is our agency's name, whatever, right? Then we have the NDA document. We are not going to be putting this. Here we have the meeting link. Here is the link to that specific Calendly booking link. And it's the same one. I'm going to leave it like here. And here we have note, and then we click save. Here we put the email that we want to send this to. It's going to be his email, and yeah. Now we are almost done with our automation. We have stored the data. We have sent him an email with a welcoming letter. We have created the folders and shared them with him, created the whole welcoming email with all of the links and sent it to him. Now we only need to create our Slack channel and share it with him. First of all, I want to create here a variable value, which is going to be putting lowercase everything that is basically the title of the Slack channel, which is going to be all lowercase because you cannot put, you cannot input high cases, upper cases actually, when you create titles for a Slack channel. So basically we're going to be using the tools module. Here we're going to tools and we're going to be set a variable. The variable name is going to be channel name, and we have called it like first name underscore last name dash Tinker, right? All Tinker. Okay, now we need this to all be lowercase. So we go here to the text and we are going to be clicking lower and we copy this, and actually you can move it like this. Okay, this has been deleted. We are going to replace it, first name, last name, Tinker, and we have the channel name. Okay, then we have the Slack where we are going to actually create a channel. So where can I find this? Yeah, list, get, set, join, leave, create a channel. You have to connect again your Slack account to this module. We are going to name it like this. The channel name is private. Is going to be a no, actually, yeah, we're going to be making it private for our client, and then we are going to have to invite somebody to our Slack channel. Again, you're going to be adding a Slack module, which is going to be like here. We are going to be go to channel and archive pin invite users to public or private channel. Okay. And then we are going to having this channel. You don't have your channel here, you're going to have to map it. We are going to run this and actually get the ID from our previous channel. And the users are going to be him. But how you can input this? You cannot input this into mail.com. You have to make a little bit of a trick again. So let me show you. Okay, so we have here invite users, right? and it's going to be a private channel. And here we have the channel ID. I have to run it just like I said before the previous module so that we can have this ID. And then here we are going to create a bot inside our Slack so that we can basically invite through him our client, because you cannot directly invite with a email somebody else, you know. You have to basically invite them via their username in Slack. So it's a bit more complicated to do this inside me, but you can do this. I actually made a video on it. Again, a pretty short video on my YouTube channel. If you want, you can check it out. But yeah, let's just do this. Okay, so I ran this once. I have created a channel inside on my Slack account, and here I put the private channel and I inputted here. I mapped the channel ID from our previous module. Yeah, and here I am going to choose make demo, which is the bot that I have constructed within Slack. Again, I'm not going to show you right now. You can check out my video in on my channel on how to do this. Okay, and then we are going to be needing another HTTP module and make a request. And I am just going to paste this one from the one that I already created, which looks a little bit like this. Here we have our API conversations from Slack. Again, I explained in that previous video. We are going to be using a post method and authorization, and here we have the basically the bearer and the code